Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, this is one of those rumors that just might shake up the NFC East in a way we haven't seen in quite some time. And if you're like me, you're probably sitting on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going on behind the scenes. The NFL is always a game of chess, and right now, the Houston Texans and Washington Commanders are potentially making moves that could turn the division upside down. The buzz is that the Texans, currently sitting at 5-5 with a pretty tight cap situation, around $15 million, are considering trading Nico Collins to the Commanders in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. That's a bold move, especially considering Collins is just entering his 5th NFL season, but the reasons behind it are worth unpacking in detail. So why would the Texans, who have been surprisingly decent this year with a solid defense and a mediocre 22 points per game offense, decide to part ways with a player like Collins? Well, the answer revolves around their strategic cap management and future planning. After all, Houston is focusing heavily on extending C.J. Stroud, their promising young quarterback, and they're also looking to bolster their defensive line. The defense has been surprisingly resilient, allowing just over 16 points per game, but they're also aware of their limitations on offense, especially in the passing game. With a cap of $15 million, Houston needs to make some tough decisions, and trading Collins would free up around $12 million in cap space, money that can go toward extending Stroud and reinforcing the secondary, which has been a weak spot, especially with injuries and inconsistent play. Considering Collins' stats and profile, he's a player that could fit perfectly into Washington's offensive scheme. He's a versatile receiver, capable of playing both inside and outside, and he's been a proven playmaker over his career. In 5 seasons, Collins has accumulated 267 receptions for 872 yards, averaging 5 yards per catch with 22 touchdowns. His PFF grade sits at a solid 85. And he averages about 2.8 yards per route run, meaning he's constantly involved and productive when targeted. What makes Collins especially intriguing for Washington is his ability to make contested catches. He's at 55% in that department. That's a huge asset, especially for a team that's been struggling with consistency at wide receiver since injuries have decimated their top options. In 2025, Collins has already played 9 games, grabbing 49 passes on 82 targets for 642 yards, averaging 1 yards per catch with 4 touchdowns. His overall PFF grade is at 8, ranking him among the top 11 wide receivers in the league, and his yards after catch, YAC, surpassed 300 yards with 24 explosive plays. If you compare him to a player like Stefon Diggs, who boosted the Bills' offense significantly after a trade, Collins has that potential to be an elite wideout who can elevate Washington's aerial attack. His presence alone would add a new dimension to the offense, especially considering how the team has been relying heavily on play action and quick passes to mitigate the issues in their offensive line. Now, let's talk about the fit and what this could mean for the Commanders moving forward. Currently, Washington's offense is averaging around 5 points per game, and their wide receiver room has been a point of concern, especially after injuries to key players. Adding Collins could be the spark the offense needs to become more dynamic and balanced. His projection with the team is quite favorable. We're talking about a player who could realistically surpass 100 receiving yards this season, boosting the offense's efficiency by roughly 18% in EPA per pass with quarterback Jaden Daniels. That's a significant upgrade, especially considering how much Washington has struggled with consistency at the position. What's even more exciting is how Collins could transform the team's playbook. His ability to stretch the field with deep routes, where he grades at 5 PFF, would open up more opportunities for play-action passes, easing the pressure on the running game and making life easier for the quarterbacks. His presence would also help relieve some of the load from the current receivers, who are often limited in their yards per route run, averaging around 1 yards, which is quite low. With Collins, that number could jump to around 2.8, significantly improving the offense's overall explosiveness. This, in turn, would create more space for the running game, which has been averaging just 40 yards per carry, and would help set up more play-action opportunities, making the offense less predictable and more dangerous. From the defensive perspective, the Commanders would benefit from having a more balanced attack that keeps defenses on their heels. When Washington can sustain drives and put more points on the board, it also means more opportunities for the defense to rest and reset between possessions. The addition of a player like Collins could be the catalyst for a more balanced and dangerous team, one that can challenge the top contenders in the NFC. Now, let's consider the potential risks and reservations. Some might argue that trading for Collins is a gamble, especially given the current state of the roster. Washington's wide receivers are not exactly loaded with proven talent, and relying too heavily on a new addition might create chemistry issues at first. Plus, there's always the question of how well Collins would fit into the team's offensive system right away. But given his track record and the fact that he's been a consistent contributor, the risk seems manageable, especially for a team that desperately needs an injection of talent at the position. As for the Texans, losing Collins would be a blow, especially since they're trying to build a competitive team around C.J. Stroud. They're also looking to extend their defense, which has been surprisingly solid, but the offense needs more firepower to truly compete. Trading Collins for a second-round pick in 2026 is a strategic move that could pay dividends if they use the cap space wisely to shore up their offensive line and secondary. However, they might regret letting go of a player who's shown he can make big plays and be a difference-maker in the passing game. When it comes to the odds, the potential move has a lot of fans excited. The Commanders are at plus 100 to make a playoff run, but with a move like this, odds could shift dramatically, possibly as high as plus 25 if Collins joins and makes an immediate impact. That's a plus 75% boost in their chances, and it could be the X factor that elevates the team to playoff contention and even pushes them into serious Super Bowl conversation. The key will be how quickly the chemistry develops, but the upside is undeniable. If Collins can replicate or even improve on his 2025 performance, Washington's offense could become one of the most explosive in the league, especially with the deep threat he offers. All things considered, this potential trade is a fascinating chess move by both teams. For Washington, it's about adding a proven, versatile playmaker who can help elevate the offense and take some pressure off the young quarterbacks. For the Texans, it's about cap management and building for the future, even if it means parting ways with a player who's already shown he can make a difference. Either way, the ripple effects could be huge, and for us fans, it's an exciting time to be a part of the Commanders nation. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Nico Collins could be the missing piece to finally unlock the full potential of this offense? Would you be comfortable trading a second-round pick to bring him in? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.